What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao Update Today. Pacquiao Roach back together on Mitt. I just wanted to touch on this topic. Touched on it a few times in a couple other videos about Freddie Roach returning to the Manny Pacquiao camp and what it could possibly mean for Team Pacquiao. And I wanted to touch on what Freddie Roach adds as far as mitt work and just boxing knowledge. As far as him being back in the camp, when they split, at the time I couldn't believe that they would actually, split the way they did. Sometimes I think, they do these things for entertainment reasons, to keep it a little exciting for fans. You know what I'm saying? At no point in my mind did I ever think that Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao were actually really, really beefing. Like they would never talk to each other again. To me, it was contractual. It was a little bit of scheduling conflict. Freddie Roach was doing some things with the boxing TV show. I can't remember the name of it, but he was doing some things with that boxing TV show as far as helping a few younger boxers. And then Manny Pacquiao at the time was having his split from Top Rank. So I feel like contractually they couldn't have worked together at that moment, and schedule-wise they couldn't have worked together at that moment. So I don't feel like they were actually beefing. And then people will say, well, Manny Pacquiao owed Freddie Roach some money from the Jeff Horn fight. And I'm like, technically, Manny Pacquiao doesn't actually pay Freddie Roach. Top Rank Boxing was paying Freddie Roach. They pay all the expenses that surround the fighter. And this is the reason that, a lot of people say that promoters are shady. And in a lot of ways, it's true. And in some ways, it's just business. Leon Muhammad says this a lot. It's not personal, it's just business, and that's what it is. It's and this is where guys get messed over sometimes, is when you take a brand new fighter, he's broke, he comes in, a promoter gives him such and such. Not only do they place them in a nice gym, they get you a well-known boxing coach. They usually put you up in some type of housing. They get you a car most of the times. You're eating for free most of the time. Your friends get to loiter and hang out for free most of the time. You're not paying for it. Traveling all over the place. You're doing commercials, and commercials ain't free. Cameras and directors and actors, none of that stuff is free. You're throwing parties, you're doing events, and none of this stuff is free. But when you're young, and you're not used to having money, you don't know contracts and dollar signs and numbers and all this stuff, in your mind, it can somehow become free. And you can say, well, this is just what the promoter was doing. And it's never that. There's small print in every contract that you sign that nobody ever reads. And this is where they usually get you on. And normally, in most situations, this is the same for rappers and everything else. In most situations, that front money is kind of like what a bank does to you, or what a credit card company does to you. They give you a certain amount of money, knowing you don't have the money to pay it back, and knowing that eventually you're going to get a lump sum paycheck. And basically, they know that half of that paycheck is now theirs through what they gave you in interest. So let's say a promoter puts up $1 million for a fighter. A fighter makes $5 million off his next fight. I'm pretty sure the contract is going to say such and such dollars will put up, and such amount of interest will be recouped once the event is finished. So let's just say they taking 25% of your event, which is the boxing fight, you know, would be whatever pay-per-view sales you get, whatever alcohol sales you get, whatever ticket sales you get. So they're going to take 25% of that. Let's just say all that generates $5 million for you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that means already you owe him $1 million for all the press tours and parties and boxing coaches and gyms, and you already owe $1 million for that. So your $5 million is already $4 million. Okay, and then you owe him 25% of whatever you brought in. So 25% of that $4 million would be somewhere around $1.25 million. So now your $4 million is down to $3 million. Well, actually, around $2,700,000. So now you got $2,700,000 left, and you got all these friends that you've been paying for. You got this car, you know. All right, y'all, the camera cut off, so I'm finished up what I was saying. Even though you got this car, man, normally most of the time these cars are luxury cars, and even though you own it, you still owe taxes on it. You still have to pay insurance for it. So if you got some type of Maybach, some high-end Bentley, Lamborghini, you're in some real tax trouble when it comes to that luxury vehicle. And then you got a luxury piece of property which you own taxes on. Then you have lawyers that you pay for. And you got all these friends that you got to pay for. And of course you got women, whatever your preference is, that you got to pay for. So, you know, that little $2,700,000 is going to start dwindling down real quick. So by the end of the day, by the time you actually get paid, you might have got $1 million, maybe. So that means you turning around. You got to fight very fast once again just to make sure that you recoup some of the money that you done put up there. So a lot of times it's in boxing, you can really be taken advantage of, man. And you can get put in situations to where your career, your financial stability is over before it even started. But when you got guys like Freddie Roach, man, in your corner, it's always good because he offers so much boxing knowledge, and he offers so much. And him and Pacquiao have such a friendship that, you know, it's good to see that they can still, you know, connect with each other, that they don't have, you know, even though there might have been some money problem, it wasn't Manny Pacquiao's money problem, it was Bob Arum's money problem, whatever his problem was, that he didn't want to pay at the time. So, you know, but it's good to have guys like Roach in your corner because, you know, he's the type of guy he's a straight shooter, man. He's going to be 100% honest with you. And if he don't like you, he just don't like you. And he'll, even at his age and having Parkinson's, he'll still try to fight you. You know, him and the whole Alex Zariza incident was funny, man. It wasn't funny to see someone like Ariza slammed by a ball kick a 70-year-old man. But it was funny to see Freddie Roach not backing down. You know, he's still with all his problems and his age. He's a man at the end of the day. He's not going to let you down talk him or, you know, try to punk him or none of that type of stuff. So it was good to see that. But it's great to see Manny Pacquiao have Roach back in his corner just for the boxing knowledge, for the friendship, for everything that Roach offers to Pacquiao as far as his being his coach and who brought him into the professional boxing game, and who refined his skills within the professional boxing game. So I'm pretty sure their personal relationship is beyond what any of us could ever imagine, man. I feel like their personal relationship is probably really beyond anything that we could imagine. So, you know, it's good to see, and You know, I don't feel like Buboy is any type of hater, man. I don't think he's gonna try to stir up anything. I try to, you know, make it hard for Roach. I feel like Roach just has a lot on his plate, man, and for him to be such an older guy, and for him to have, you know, a debilitating disease and still be able to go, man, it says a lot about him. But I just think, you know, Freddie Roach is slowing down a little bit. You know, we all look at Freddie Roach like the indestructible man or something, and you know, he's getting older, man. He's slowing down a little bit, so I feel like that's another part of it. It's just, you know, what's going on behind the scene with Freddie Roach and his health. Was it a health issue? Was it some type of health issue in there too? Which I don't think it was, because he was still working, like I said, with the other younger fighters. So, but you never know with Freddie Roach, man, and his health problems, why he sometimes has to take a step aside, you know. But I don't feel like that was the reason. I feel like it was more contractual reasons and scheduling conflicts for why he wasn't working with Pacquiao at the Matisse fight. And they only framed it in the way they did to for fanfare, man. In boxing, it's hard to keep people's attention, man. There's so many fights going on, and especially on YouTube with so many analysts, and everybody's got their opinion. It's hard to keep people's attention in boxing, man. So sometimes you got to throw a little bait out there to, you know, a little boxing bait. So, you know, maybe they made up a little beef to keep people's interest and, you know, make the whole situation seem a little more interesting than what it really was, which is just scheduling conflicts and contractual obligations. You know, as far as him being back on the mitts, you know, Pacquiao looks strong right now. He looks ready. He looks overly prepared for this fight. He looks big from what I've been seeing, man. I normally don't say he looks big or bulky. I normally say he looks ripped. And he looks ripped too, but he looks bulky for this fight for some reason. He looks bulked up. His arms look, man, really, really big. So I don't know what's going on with that. Or why they're making him so much more muscular for this fight. I'm waiting to see some interviews from Justin Fortune to see what the whole plan was with this strength and conditioning, you know, and what new things he was bringing to the table. Because every time you work with a boxer, you got to kind of refine it. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over, or they can get stagnated. But you know, leave me some comments down below. Check the description box for that new boxing gear. I'm trying to roll out new stuff. I see people actually clicking the links. If it's anything that y'all want me to offer y'all, you know, from these links that I'm not offering, then let me know down in the comment section, man. Always leave me a like, subscribe, tell somebody about me. If you know any homeless people, man, it's cold outside right now. Got any leftovers, take it down there, man. Let these people know you care about them, man. If you ain't got nothing else to talk about, just tell them about Cardinal Red and Ali Land Boxing Talk. We at it.